Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and today is Coach David Sharpe show. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks, Perry.
Well, this past weekend was quite a ball game we had there.
Yeah.
The Millers came out with a 16-13 loss, but pretty good football game, Coach. Just talk a little bit about that. And
right.
Maybe some of the things that we did.
It was fun. It was. We worked really hard for the past 9 months to be in a situation like that in the fourth quarter against a good team. And Perry, you've been coming to Miller games for a few years. It's been a while since we've had a close sellout, down to the wire finish with the team, hadn't it? And it was fun to have that atmosphere. And Fisher's obviously made the big plays in the second half, and we just came up a play or two short. But looking back at some of the positives, like the first half was, each team had 2 long drives for touchdowns, and obviously they converted on their conversion, and we missed an extra point. And then the second half, each team had a long drive, scoring drive, and we were able to hold them on fourth down a couple times, and obviously with 3 minutes to go, they were able to hold us on fourth down, and that was kind of the ball game. But it kind of came down to special teams, and we know that that's going to be a struggle for us, and we have to continue to look for answers and improve in the kicking game, because it was a big factor on Friday. But I'm looking at positives. We played a ton of sophomores, and they're getting really good. Some of our sophomores are really surprising us that they're playing this well on Friday nights. Defensively, I thought Austin Hastings was our best overall football player on Friday, and he's a sophomore middle linebacker, and you talk about just great instinct for the game, and it's really exciting that he's barely into his Miller career, and he's going to have a huge impact for the next 2.5 seasons. And then same thing with Gavin Kenyon. We put a lot on Gavin's shoulders. He was kind of matched up with 86 a lot, Simmons, and just did a great job overall. He understands our system. He's very physical, and just he's the perfect Miller. Both those kids, they did great jobs for us as sophomores. And then the twins, Cole and Carter Richardson, they're rotating at defensive back. Cameron Wilson's rotating at defensive back. So that's a lot of youth on that defense that came up big for us. And then we look at the youth on our offense. Logan Schaffner is perfect for us. He gets a lot of the credit. But Ransom McDermott I felt like in the second half of Fisher's game, we're starting to see it. We're starting to see that monster potential that he has. And he works super hard. And again, it's really reassuring. It's like, wow, we have Shaw for another 30 games. We have McDermott and Hastings and Kenyon and the Richardson twins for another 30 games in their Miller careers. So that's and they're playing so well already. And then big step up by Gage goalie. We've played 3 games and we've had 3 quarterbacks. I don't know if anybody else in the state can say that, but it was Jace Riggs finished the game against Terre Haute, and we kind of let Jason and Gage kind of battle it out in practice this week. Close call. We decided to go with Gage, and he gives us a little spark in the run game, and just a couple of those keeps, and then we got in shotgun, and he was able to kind of have that little burst and got us a 3rd and 9, turned it into a 4th and 1, which is part of our scoring drive. So Gage did a great job handling all the adversity that comes with being a first game starter in front of 5,000 people, or how many people were there. But he's just an outstanding football player, and we said, hey, gave him the keys to the car, and that was a great effort by him. And then there's everybody else. It's like we find so many positives. Everybody played really well at certain times. I think the story of the game, besides special teams, was Fishers was able to find some big runs, bouncing them off the edge, especially in the second half. And 33 and number 4 for them. They're grown men. They're grown men, and they had some burst to them. So great football game. Our kids they're very disappointed, obviously, but we had a great practice yesterday on Labor Day, and we're ready to forget about it. It's ancient history and focus on Shamrocks now.
Absolutely. The one thing about it, after the game, I talked to a couple of players, and of course they were disappointed, like they should be, okay?
Yeah.
But they said, hey, we'll see him in 6 weeks, and that's a possibility that
Sure.
that we'll see him come sectional time because they're in our sectional, and
Yeah.
and it's reality. I mean, it's just part of it.
Yeah, these
So,
4-team sectionals, it's
it's tough. It's tough. So and also it's Schaffner gained 138 yards, okay, which is fantastic. But that front line, your line is blocking well too.
They are, and Fishers deserves a ton of credit. They fit really well against us. I thought their linebackers and safeties played outstanding, and the safeties especially, I think it was number 23 that had all the tackles for gains of 10, and we couldn't get those gains of 50. We had one. Schaff broke the one, but a couple other ones were close to going 50 like we had seen against Mount Vernon, and again, that's how we score our points, and we pierced the front line a few times, just couldn't quite hit the home run.
Yeah. The one thing about it, in last week's show, I remember you talking about 92 and 94, how active they were, and they were active.
Yeah.
I mean, up front, so.
They were. 51 made he was the number one guy circled on our scouting report, and he did make a couple plays, and I think they got us off schedule a couple times. We had quite a few second and longs, and that's, they did a good job on first down a few times, and on our last drive when we were at midfield, we got into a second and 12, and that can't happen. When that happens, we're not very good football team.
Well, this week, as the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, it doesn't get any easier, okay? I mean, because top to bottom, it's a tough football league, okay? So this week we got the Westfield Shamrocks. We'll be traveling 8 or 9 miles down the road and playing them. I would pretty well say that we're pretty familiar with Westfield and what they have to do. So let's talk a little bit about Westfield.
Right. We know them really, really well because we played them for 8 quarters last year, and I think it all starts with, it doesn't matter if you talk about offense or defense, it starts with Micah. And, I've been coaching, I think, for 17 years, and I got no problem saying he's the best high school football player I've coached against in terms of what he means to their team, being a two-way warrior. It's kind of inspiring that they just say, you're not coming off the field. You're too good to not come off the field. And he's just, the way that he contortions his body to get off blocks, and the way that he breaks tackles, and he's a tremendous lead blocker for Maximus when he has to be, and he catches the ball in the backfield too. He's just the complete high school football player, and we look forward to game planning against him again for the 3rd time now. And then when you talk, so he's what stirs them, we know. But then their quarterback continues his efficiency, Webster.
Yeah, because really he's really throwing the ball pretty well, and then we know he can run.
It's amazing when you get great coaching staff in Westfield and great talent. They produce at an extremely high level, and they've been doing that for a while now. And they're fun to compete against. They're going to be tough to slow down, but and then defensively, it's you got a lot of good players in that front 7, and aside from Micah, you have those other good defensive backs that are dynamite as well. So we don't know how they'll play us, but we'll not back down. The theme of this week is kind of a nameless, faceless opponent. Their jersey doesn't say Westfield. It's just that there's 11 guys out there. There's 11 guys for us. We have to know our assignments. We have to know what they do and try to take it away and try to march down the field offensively.
One of the things I noticed coaching, I didn't get to watch the game, but when you look at the stats, against Zionsville, they had a lot of big plays. Okay, so,
yep.
So that's going to be huge because they got so many weapons that they can. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball. So
they do, and they have a freshman that's pretty darn good too. So it's like, wow, he jumps off the screen already. So as you said, a lot of weapons, and their offensive coaching staff does a great job of dispersing the ball, and Maximus does a great job of dispersing the ball to all those different weapons they have.
Yeah, because number 7, that freshman, he had 1 carry, 83 yards. So he can get right down the field. So. Very good football team we're facing this week. Coach, it'll be exciting because the crowd will be huge over there.
Oh, yeah.
Also, so that was the one thing that that I noticed in our game here Friday night, man, we couldn't ask for a better crowd.
We couldn't. It was awesome.
It was awesome on both sides of the field, and of course you don't have time to listen to that, but it's pretty cool how both student sections were outstanding.
Right.
I mean, really. I mean, it was loud on both sides, and that.
I think we all of us tried to stay, dialed into the game and not get carried away. But it was hard not to just glance over your shoulder like, wow, that's amazing. The size of that crowd, and of course, we hope for good weather and another good crowd at Westfield this week.
Yeah. And supposedly it's supposed to be a good weather on Friday night, so hopefully, of course, we're in Indiana, so that could change any time. And this is a good rivalry game. I mean, there's several rivalry games in that Hoosier Crossroad Conference, and Fishers and Southeastern. Not only is that a big rivalry game, but they're both undefeated 3-0, so that'll be interesting. And then both our teams here are 2-1, and should be an interesting football game.
It is, and we got to get off to a good start. We know that. Having played them twice last year, we know we had just a collapse of a second quarter last year in the tournament game, and they played Lafayette Harrison, who is very comparable to us offensively, and Lafayette Harrison kind of showed our kids a blueprint. They went on about a 18-play drive and gobbled up the whole third quarter, and they got within a touchdown, late in the game against Westfield, and that's what we want to try to do. It's no secret, we want to 3 and 4 yard them to death and try to keep those chains moving and just gobble up that clock and then make some timely plays on defense. So I think our kids, they understand how we want to attack Westfield, and I know they're looking forward to it.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Best of luck going to Westfield. And of course, Hamilton County TV will be broadcasting that game. And
right.
We had great numbers this past weekend with everybody following the game, and I was really excited when I started tweeting it out on Thursday evening. A lot of people sharing it out there that if you couldn't be at the game, you can watch it on Hamilton County TV. So we greatly appreciate the Noblesville fans, as you do too.
We do. It's a great place to coach, as I'm learning all the support that we get.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Perry. Go Millers.